Hello everyone. Today I am going to show you how to set up your resources as well as how you're going to assign your resources to your project. So first of all, you have to open whatever the specific project that you're working on. When you do is just right click it and then open project. Now once you open your project, the next thing you have to do now is to set up your resources. And what you do is just go into the left navigational toolbar, and you'll be able to see this icon, the head icon on the left side of your window. Click that, and then the next thing you have to do, you're already on the resources tab on your window. For you to be able to add your resources, what you do is just click the plus sign on the right side navigational toolbar. Click that, and it will give you here a dialog box. What you do is just click OK, and it will show all the resources that is currently available, or that is by default built in into Primavera. Now, if you are going to build up your own resources that is specific to your particular project, what you do is just click the plus sign again on the navigational toolbar. So what you do is just click plus, and I want you to rename that as whatever you wanted. Say, for example, your project. So in my case, I'm just going to show it to be exercise one. Now, just because Primavera has been developed, created in a hierarchy, each of those items that you added into your table, they are actually arranged in various levels. In this case here, you will notice that exercise one is actually in a level 3 from the East NC resources. That's your level 1. And then you have your new resource, that is your level 2. And then your exercise that I just created is on the level 3. If you want that to be specific to your particular project, and it is only applicable to your resource to your project that you're making, what you do is just make that as a level 1. What you do is just click the left arrow on the right navigational toolbar on your screen, and you can click that a couple of times so that it will create it here as a level 1. You can move this all the way to the top of your screen by clicking again the upward arrow. So it will now go all the way to the top. You can change also your resource ID if you wanted. You can put it R dash exercise if you want it to be unique. Now, once you set up the folder or the pretty much the same as the summary tasks of your activities, what to do now is you're going to add all your resources. But one thing that I want you to take note are the column resource type, the unit of measure, wherever the primary role is, and the default units per time. Now, by default, the default units per time is 8 per day. What does that mean? That means that a particular labor is working 8 hours per day. You can change that if your requirement is 10 hours per day. So you could just change here on the bottom that says your maximum units per time. That is on the detail area. You can change that if there is a different requirement for your company. So the other thing that I want to emphasize here is the resource type. Since the exercise one serves like a folder to where you're going to build up your resources, what to do here is change that into a non-labor. So from there, you should be able to add your resources. Say, for example, I'm going to add my resources, and I'm going to name that as my PM. So make sure that you're going to change this into a labor if there is a person. The next, you're going to add your project engineer. Sorry. Project engineer, and again, that is a person. So make sure that you're going to add and change that to labor. And I'm going to stick with the 8 hours per day. Next, you may need to add again, and you're going to put in superintendent, and then still again in labor, and then click plus. You may need to probably add your materials, say concrete, and then make sure that you change the resource type to materials, and then make sure that you need to change the unit column as well too. Click data, and then in this case, those units that are available are each, tons, dollar, lump sum, CPU, cubic yards, linear feet. So if that is a concrete, that is in terms of a cubic yard. So you want you to just select the cubic yard, and then click the plus sign. Okay. Now, if ever the units are not within those lists, what to do is you have to go into the admin tab on the standard toolbar, and I want you to click the admin categories, and you will be able to see this dialog box all the way to the bottom. You will be able to see here unit of measure. So when you click that, you should be able to add those units that you will be needing for your particular project. So in this case, I'm going to add a linear feet. There is already a linear feet here. Square footage. So we don't have square foot unit here. So what you're going to do is just click add, and you're going to name that as your SF, and that is the square foot. So that is a measurement for areas. So again, what to do is go, if that particular unit is not on the list, what you're going to do is go to your admin tab, and then go to your admin categories, and it will allow you to add that particular unit. Let's add more. Say, for example, we have here lumber, and what we need to do here is say linear feet, steel materials, and then I want you to select linear feet. Now you will notice also here that each of those items that you're adding, your resources added, you will notice that it continually create that hierarchy. Now, if that particular concrete is under your superintendent, all the materials, so make sure that your lumber here should be aligned to the level of your other materials. So what you're going to do here is, again, click this arrow on the left, and it will align the other one. So next, we are going to add, again, another resources, say insulation. So you're going to make sure that you change this into, it's either each, or you could have it here linear feet as well too. And then click and make sure that you're going to align that as well too. Now, once you created all of those, the other thing that you need to check is the standard rate. Now, if you will not be able to set up the standard rate, of course, all your costs will be in terms of zeros. So for the software to calculate the resources cost, make sure that you're going to provide the standard rate. So in this case, assuming that your PM will be $45 per hour, so what you do is just type in 45. So project engineer, let's just do that to be $30 per an hour. And then we have superintendent, let's just do probably $20 per hours. And concrete, let's just do that probably 105 per cubic yard. And then lumber, probably let's just do $2 per linear feet. And then insulation, probably let's just do that 2.25 per linear feet. So again, just for the sake of illustrations and how you build up your resources, I just added the PM, the project engineer, superintendent, and then concrete, lumber, and insulation. Let me correct the spelling for this one. So, and all right. So once you build up your resources under your main folder exercise, what you need to do now is go back to your activities, and it allows you now to assign your resources. So how do you assign your resources? Now you will notice when you set up your layout here. You have your activity ID, activity name, original duration, predecessor, start, finish, critical, total float, free float, budget cost. Now, there are several ways for you to be able to assign your resources. One of those, a classical way, is when you go into your right navigational toolbar, you have this icon with the head with the cursors on it. That is one way for you to be able to assign your resources. The other way is that if you are going to add your column into your table, that will help you as well too. Say, for example, I'm going to add that particular column. So let me see if that is your resources. Probably check that on your, no, it's not on your general tab. Resources, probably not there. It might be on the list. So we have here resources. So I want you to add that to the right side. Make sure that you move that to the right place that you want it. So I'm going to probably put it right after my predecessors. So what to do is just, you can rearrange them, making use of the arrow down here. So click apply and then exit out. So you'll notice that you have here now another column added into your table. So in this case, I have here your resources followed by predecessor, the same way that I arranged them when I added those columns. So what to do is go now to that particular task or activities to where you want to add your resources. In this case, again, there's two possible ways. So you can go into your icon, resources on the right navigational toolbar, or you can go into your resources, add this column, making use of this particular icon here on the standard toolbar, and then add your resources column. So in this case, what I'm going to do is just click and it will pop up this dialog box here. It allows you now to select those particular resources to that particular task. In this case, I'm going to add my PM, project engineer, superintendent. So in that case, click plus, it will add those resources. Now let me just add another resources. Let me add here laborers, your worker, laborer. And that could represent either your mason guy or your concrete guy or your carpenter guy on your projects. So again, that is labor. So make sure that you're going to change the resource type to labor, and make sure that you're going to change this. Say, for example, we have $22 per hour. So go back again to your activities and then let us just assign here your resources, additional resources like laborer. So in this case here, if you are going to assign a laborer, say I want it to be 3 or 4 workers working on the dig foundations, what you're going to do is to click the plus sign 4 times, or you can only add 1 time, say plus. However, when you go and add your resources, say for example, so I'll go here on the detailed area, go to your resources, you will notice that I only assign 1 laborer. As I mentioned a while ago, you could add 4 times of those. But in my case, what I'm going to do is you will notice that we have here all those different columns. Now, if you are anticipating to add your resources to be 4 or 3 workers, what to do is add another column here. I want you to click, right click it and customize it. But what I want you to do is add your resources. Let me go into your, sorry, you have to go into your cost. But I want you to find that says budgeted cost. I want you to add, it says here, budgeted units per time. That particular column allows you to add number of workers working in a given time. So say for example here, when I added this budgeted units per time, that tells you that how many people working in a given day. Say for example, if you will be needing 4 labor in that particular task, what to do is just multiply that 8 hours per day times 4 to represent those 4 different laborers. So say for example, if I'm going to assign 3 workers in this particular task, what I need to do is just multiply that by 3, and that will give me 24 hours per day. Again, you have two possible ways to do that. You can add your labor through your resources 3 different times, or you can multiply by the number of workers by 8 hours per day. Now, that is if that is a laborers or laborers. That is different when you are going to assign materials, which I'm going to show you that in a bit. Let me move into my resource reinforced and poured concrete. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to assign my PM again, and my project engineer superintendent, and even my concrete and my laborer as well too. So click plus. Now you will notice here, so let me just concentrate on this one. Now, if you will be needing a laborer that will work 3 on that particular day, so what you need to do is just multiply that 8 hours by the 3 labor, and that will give you 24. And also on your concrete, you will be needing data how many cubic yard you will be needing for that particular project. So in this case, I am going to enter probably about 10 cubic yard. Now you will notice that I entered that amount under the budgeted units because that is the only amount that you need for that particular task. Again, you will notice I didn't put that under the budgeted units per time. Why? Because that's variable, and the people, you will need them multiple days. However, for the concrete, you will probably order a specific fixed amount of material. So in that case, you need to enter them under the budgeted units. So again, that is how you're going to enter. And you will notice now we have here your budgeted total cost indicated as you enter those resources because you added the rate, standard rate in each of those resources. The Primavera allows it to calculate them individually. So when you go into your frame house here, the same thing again. What you need to do is just click that particular cell under your resources so that you will be able to assign again your resources here. In this case, I am going to add my PM and then project engineer, superintendent, labor, and my lumber. So click plus, and then again, it depends on how many laborers you'll be needing. So in my case, let me just fix that to 3 workers, and then my lumber, say you will be needing a linear feet, or you could create also a board foot measure requirement. So in this case here, let me just put probably 1,000 linear feet of lumber. I'm sorry. So I will put that in my budgeted units, okay, instead of the budgeted units per time. So again, for materials, you have to enter them into budgeted units. For labor, you have to enter them into the budgeted units per time. So once you have that, assign all of those to the remaining tasks that you have, and it allows you to calculate the budgeted total cost for the project.